I'm interested in how relevant that movie is now, because it is very old. And
how old is it actually?
It's
20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there weren't a lot available in it, which was unusual. They
Yeah.
were all being available by now, so I
Yeah.
thought, about 20 years was about right. That's when I first came to it.
That was one thing that we were discussing before you came in was how negative the reactions were to this film.
Yeah.
Because it was broadcast by the BBC, and a lot of expat Egyptians wrote back to like Egyptian journalists, newspapers, and wrote how it was very much a smear on Egypt as a nation, and that Wiza is a woman who's fallen morally, that she's no portrayal of the Egyptian mother. The Egyptian
And
mother
it's
is
exactly the opposite, actually. I thought she was doing a great job.
Yeah.
She was heading the household, providing for her children. Her husband's doing nothing.
Yeah.
And she's not one of the, this is what I'm doing my paper on, is these female-headed households. She's not one of the statistics. It's supposed to be 20%. But she falls out of that 20% because she's neither a widow nor divorced. And those are the ones in the 20%. So the ones who their husbands are still around are not considered female-headed households.
right.
They're considered to be still married and being supported by their husbands when they're not. And she said she's the one who's going to provide for her son to get married. The whole lot. So
She seemed to be doing pretty well too, actually.
Yeah, they're good to. And I thought the whole thing, I thought it was quite upbeat actually.
Yeah.
Despite the poverty and the problems, they know how to get by and have a little bit of fun on the side.
Yeah.
Just the family and the
I
friends.
did like her actually. Like she scared the life out of me, but I liked her.
Yeah, she's a matriarch, but no, that's good fun.
I just want to read this part that Reem Said, the anthropologist part of this documentary, she wrote a piece on why she feels they reacted, the audience back in the 20 years ago reacted the way they did. And she writes, a final reason for the uneasiness many people felt towards Wiza is that she did not conform to the stereotype of poor held by the urban middle class. Peasants and the urban poor can be tolerated only if patronized or romanticized. Wiza's world is sometimes viewed romantically as the soul of Egypt, or melodramatically as the site of constant misery that can only be alleviated by efforts of charitable philanthropists. Wiza's problem was that she simply did not look miserable. Worse still, she looked as if she was actually enjoying herself. It is true that she works very hard to make ends meet, but her life is more than just a grim struggle for survival. Her concern in life involves love, the marriage of her children, friendship and leisure, things which do not have a place in either the romanticized or the melodramatized stereotype of the poor. Which I thought was
That's a good point.
right on.
That's really true.
I just wonder if people would react the same way 20 years later. I don't know if there would still be the same dissent and disgust.
I think from a certain class of people there would be.
Yeah.
The kid was giving a bad impression of Egypt.
I wonder if she's still getting on okay now. I mean, like the food prices from 20 years ago have tripled, and she's probably not earning a whole lot more money than she was then. She might be in a terrible situation like a lot of the poorer.
She'll be supported now by her son, her children.
Yeah,
It would be
hopefully.
nice to do a follow-up actually, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what she's thinking now.
It's a good project for somebody.